One could comfortably travel the world, visiting all the great racetracks renowned for hosting Triple Crown races, and ask every trainer, jockey, owner, breeder, and race fan for their opinion as to what constitutes the Triple Crown horse. You may end up being so confused that you may have to narrow the search to only those trainers and jockeys who've actually produced such a rare beast. And even then, we somehow doubt whether you would find one man who could succinctly summarize exactly what it takes to win the Triple Crown of horse racing. In England, it is the Guineas run at Newmarket, the Derby at Epsom, and the St. Leger at Doncaster that constitute the Triple Crown. And I have to confess that I was almost privileged enough to see a horse who was capable of winning all three. His name was Camelot, and he was trained by Aidan O'Brien, victorious in the 2000 Guineas, the Investec Derby, and then was denied victory in the St. Leger by a horse, who was subsequently disqualified. A very sad day for the sport of thoroughbred horse racing. But be that as it may, the importance of the Triple Crown in England is nowhere near as great as it is in America, for the whole nation nearly comes to a standstill on Kentucky Derby Day, which is traditionally run in the first week of May. For the first time ever, South Africa had a legitimate runner in the Kentucky Derby this past year. His name was Mubtahij, and he was trained by Michael de Kock, and he just happened to pick a year that was so strong that it was the first time since 1978 that a horse was going to be good enough to win the American Triple Crown. His name, of course, is the immortal American Pharoah, who was able to win the Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont, and in the self-same year go on to win the Breeders' Cup Classic. Now in South Africa, every self-respecting race fan will know that we've only had 2 Triple Crown winners, mainly because it hasn't been going anywhere near as long as the English or the American version. And that was back in 1999, when the son of Fort Wood horse Chestnut slammed a high-quality field in the South African Derby by 10 lengths. Then we had to wait until 2014 for the son of Black Miniloosh, and his name was Louis the King. He was absolutely spectacular in the betting world Guineas, he was convincing in the Classic, and then he was dogged and determined in the Derby. But always remember that in the pages of history there are no remarks columns. He won the Triple Crown. And it's also worth remembering that there are many horses that have won 2 of the 3 legs but have failed at the final hurdle. The most common trend being victory in the first and second legs and second and third legs, but very seldom, if ever, the first and the third leg. Horses that have been victorious in the first and second legs include Surveyor, Hunting Tower, and Pure Jordan. And then there were the horses that won the second and third legs, like Badger's Drift, a horse called King's Gambit, and Gray's Inn, who went on to great things. So it really is one of the most arduous tasks that any thoroughbred racehorse can ever be asked. And so the million-dollar question is, do we have a horse in 2016 that is capable of winning the Triple Crown? Does he have the mettle? Does he have the luck? Does he have everything going for him?
And I'd like to believe that this year I found that type of horse. But saying that, this year is going to be a very, very tough and arduous task because they have changed the races. Obviously, they've moved the Classic a week later, not on Dubai World Cup night, to clash with the Dubai World Cup meeting, which is not the best thing in the world because it's made it that much more difficult for a horse to actually win the Triple Crown. They have less time to recover between the Classic and the Derby, 1 week less, which is a big thing. You know, if you just think about the horses, you had horse Chestnut win the Triple Crown. He never won another race here, and he left. He had a long rest. He broke down in the Derby, went to America, raced, won there, and then that was the end of his career. Then you have a horse like Louis the King that won the Triple Crown. It took him a very, very long time before he won another race. Then you had a horse like Pierre Jourdain. He won the 2 legs, and then he ran second in the 3rd leg. It took him a very, very long time before he won another race. This is a very, very tough campaign for any young horse at this stage of their career. And if one goes for this and happens to win it, you got to think seriously about, do you go for the July, or do you put your horse away and give him a nice long break and say, oh well, now we must think about the Summer Cup and the Met later on? It opens up a lot of ideas in your head, and you've got to approach it carefully because this race takes its toll on young horses.
you need a very solid horse to win the Triple Crown. A horse that has got the class to win these 3-year-old classics, to be, I would say, high up in the ratings, to be able to win the first leg. Obviously, they're going to make progress all the way through, and obviously then to have the class and the stamina to stay on. So it's not an easy task.
I think the most important thing, you've got to have very good luck. It's just got to go for you, and you have to have a horse that hopefully is laid back. You know, they don't take it out of themselves at home. You know, when Louis lined up to face a starter in his maiden plate, we still weren't sure he'd win that. So we knew he was a pretty fair horse, but he not an extravagant horse at home. He wouldn't give too much away. So laid back, and I'm a great believer in pedigrees. Got to be versatile from a mile to a mile and a half. Not too many stallions can get those, but Black Minalouche did with him. And it's just all got to go your way, Andy. I don't know. What does it take? It takes a hell of a lot.
Let's take a look at the outcome of the 2016 running of the Betting World Guineas run at Turffontein this afternoon.
Betting World Gauteng Guineas Grade 2 field sent on their way from the 1600 metres mark. Muwari, one of the first to respond. Leclos handy. New Predators also in search of the lead. Celtic captain. Then comes Rocket Ball. Coral Fever. It's a mad scramble. Suyuf from a deep draw is also committing. And here we go. Suyuf from draw 16 is right up with the leaders early on. Abbas Sherry in the orange sleeves and caps against the rail. He's midfield and 6 lengths off the leader. Then comes Lunar Approach. Malakal Maluk and Champagne Haze. They are on 8 lengths from the leader. Ole Gunners over racing on the outside of them. Brazuca's 3/4 of the way back. Then comes Ricky Tiki Tana. Liege and Romany Prince is at the back of the field, and the Betting World Gauteng Guineas, they have 800 metres left to go. Suyuf committed. He's the leader by a length. New Predator and Leclos, they team up to race in second. In 4th position is Celtic captain. Then comes Muwari at that one's inside. Abbas Sherry's chasing the bit. That's in the orange sleeves and cap, and that's got about 4 lengths to make up. Further back then to Coral Fever. Rocket Balls and beyond those, and then came Malakal Maluk. They get to the last 500 metres. Suyuf is in front. Second place is New Predator. Here comes Abbas Sherry. The stick is out, but he's right alongside Suyuf. Then comes Malakal Maluk. They followed by Celtic captain. Abbas Sherry's gone for home early. Malakal Maluk is running a big race. Romany Prince is next best. Then comes Celtic captain and Brazuca with Champagne Haze on the outside, but it's Abbas Sherry the leader. Champagne Haze trying to close, but Abbas Sherry reigns supreme in the Gauteng Guineas. Second goes to Champagne Haze. Malakal Maluk, then came Brazuca. Abbas Sherry's shown what he's worth today. He went early. He was one of the first to come under a ride from Carl Zachner, but he's responded to give the Funfurans a huge victory. They've spent so much in the game. This could be exactly what they are waiting for. Abbas Sherry, the son of Go Deputy Zachner, how strong is he? He gets down and he rides them. There would have been a few that got a bit worried about 800 metres out when he started bouncing and started saying, come on, let's go. But he's gone all right. And number 1, Abbas Sherry, the son of Go Deputy, has won the Group 2 Betting World Gauteng Guineas. And he's won it well. He's not stopped at all. He's got stronger as the race went on, hinting that every other leg of this Triple Crown